f of xy tends to L1 as xy tends to AB along a path C1. See, from point xy to AB, there are so many paths. Now, if you consider fxy tends to L1 along path C1 and consider another limit, say fxy tends to L2 along path say C2, where you can say L1 and L2 are different, then what happens? Limit f of xy as xy tends to AB does not exist. That means limit of f of xy exists when if you take the limit along all possible paths must be same. So, to prove anything that limit does not exist, we have to prove just that you take limit along two paths, and if that limit is not equal, then limit of that function of two variable does not exist. Now you can see the geometrical meaning. Here I have taken x axis, y axis. Now you take any point AB at the center. Now xy point is from anywhere. It is from in the xy plane. So you take xy from any path, say path C1, path C2, path C3, any path. Now if two limits are different from two different paths, then limit does not exist, and limit exists means the limits from xy tends to AB must be equal from all the paths. Now let us take example. Let us take this function f of xy is equal to 2x square y divided by x raised to 4 plus y square. Let us prove that this function has no limit as xy approaches to 0, 0, that is approaches to origin. Now, as you know, just we have seen the result. If you want to prove limit does not exist, you consider any two paths and prove that the limit of this function is not equal along their two paths. So, we examine the values of f along curves that end at 0, 0. Along the curve, let us now take y equal to kx square, where x is not equal to 0. So, let us find value of f of xy at y equal to kx square. So, if you put y equal to kx square in our equation, you can recall our equation is this 2x square y. Now, instead of y, you can put value of kx square divided by x raised to 4 plus y square, that is y equal to k into x square whole square. Now, if you take common from the numerator and denominator, then x square will be cancelled out, x raised to any power will be cancelled out, and then fxy at point y equal to kx square will be 2k divided by 1 plus k square. Now, you can see along the curve y equal to k square, limit f of xy as xy tends to 0, 0 going to be 2k divided by 1 plus k square, because you can see there is no value of x and y in the right hand side. So, it is going to be 2k upon 1 plus k square. That means it depending on k now. This limit varies as the path varies. So, if f of xy approaches to 0, 0 along the parabola y equal to x square, that is if you put k equal to 1 in y equal to kx square, so we will get y equal to x square, and that is well known curve parabola. Then you can see if you put k equal to 1 in the right hand side of this limit, then 2 into 1, that is 2 divided by 1 plus 1, that is 2 by 2, so we got 1. So, along path y equal to x square, the limit of given function is 1. Now, let us take another path, that is if xy approaches to AB along say x axis. Now, on x axis, you know y coordinate is 0. So, if you put k equal to 0 in this expression, so you get y equal to 0, and in the right hand side you will get 2 into 0, that is 0 divided by 1, so 0. So, on y equal to x square, that is the one path, we get limit of function is 1, and on the x axis, that is on another path, we get limit is 0. So, by the two path test, f has no limit as xy approaches to 0, because we have just seen the result that if the limit of function is not equal along two different paths, then that limit does not exist. Now, let us define a function f of two variable is called continuous at particular point AB if limit of f of xy as xy tends to AB is equal to f of AB. Now you can just recall the function of continuity for one variable. Here we have a function fx is continuous at particular point, say C, if limit of fx is equal to f of c as x tends to c. So it is just generalization from one variable to two variable. Here we have limit of f of xy is equal to f of ab as xy tends to ab. Now here D is called domain. We said f is continuous on whole domain D if and only if it is continuous at every point AB in domain D. So just we have generalized the function of two variable from one variable. So all the ideas like limit, continuity, it also generalized in the similar fashion as we have did in a one variable. So this is from my side. Now for the partial derivative and other things, I request Professor Babaria to deliver a lecture. Thank you.
Thank you, Bailal Patel. Now we are going to generalize the differentiability of function of one variable to two variable. So in order to generalize the differentiability, first of all let us see that how to define the differentiability of function of one variable. We'll see that by partial derivative. First of all, what is differentiability or what is derivative? So derivative is nothing but rate of change in one variable with respect to another variable. So we will start with the partial derivative. So consider a function of two variable and define its partial derivative in this way, that is fx xy. We have just seen that how to define the limit of function of two variable. So now fx xy, that is the symbol for derivative, and that is defined as limit h tends to 0 f of x plus h y minus f of xy upon h. So what is that? You just see that here the second coordinate is y in the numerator of the right hand side, that is y and y, but there is some change in the first variable, that is the first variable in the first term is x plus h and in the second term is x. So upon, and we are dividing that by that difference, that is x plus h minus x, that is nothing but h. So that will give us, that is this limit will give us the rate of change in x with respect to rate of change in f with respect to x. So now these are some notations for partial derivatives, that fx xy is fx, we can also write that is f subscript x or del f by del x and del by del x fxy, or it is also written as del z by del x because we had taken the function z is equal to fxy. And similarly the partial derivative with respect to y, you can see the second term here, that is fy xy, that is limit h tends to 0 f of x y plus k or y plus h minus fxy upon h. So you can see the first variable here is fixed, that is x, and there is some change in the second variable and that is of h. So we are dividing f of x y plus h minus f of xy by the difference, that is h, and that will give us the rate of change in f with respect to y. So that partial derivative with respect to y is denoted by fy xy, and that is del f by del y or del y by del y fxy or del z by del y. So now let us see that how to evaluate the partial derivatives. Let fxy equal to 3x square y plus x ln y. We know the derivative of standard function of one variable, so we are going to use that fact over here. Here fxy is 3x square y plus x ln y. So first of all we will find the partial derivative with respect to x. So in that case we will treat y as a constant. So derivative of f, that is fx, you can see that y will remain constant. We have to just differentiate x square, and derivative of x square is 2x, so we will have 6xy, and in the second term we have to treat that log y as constant, so derivative of x will be 1. So in this case we will have the partial derivative of f with respect to x, that is del f by del x is nothing but 6xy plus ln y. Now fy, that is in that case partial derivative, in order to find the partial derivative with respect to y, will treat x as a constant. So in the first term you can see 3x square will be constant and will differentiate y with respect to y, and that is 1, and also x ln y. So we know that x is constant and derivative of ln y with respect to y will be 1 upon y. So this will be derivative of f with respect to y. So now the rules for finding the partial derivatives, just we had seen that to find fx we have to treat y as a constant and we have to differentiate fxy with respect to x, and to find fy we have to regard x as a constant and we have to differentiate fxy with respect to y. So now let us see what is actually the partial derivatives. The partial derivatives of f at AB, that are the slope of the tangents to C1 and C2. So first of all, that is before going to this, let us recall that what is the geometrical meaning of partial derivative in one variable. That is, if we are having a function of one variable y is equal to f of x, then in that case the derivative of f with respect, or derivative of y with respect to x, if y is a function of x, is nothing but the slope of the tangent to the curve at any given point, that is the point at which we are finding the derivative. So let us see this figure in detail. Here you can see we are having a surface that is given by red color, and in that surface you can see we are considering a plane y equal to y0, and we are taking intersection of that two, that is a surface, that is our given fxy, z is equal to fxy is our given surface, that is shown by red color in this figure, and that we are taking its intersection with plane y equal to y0. So you can see the intersection of that two, that is the surface and the plane, is nothing but that is given, or that is shown in the figure by black color, and the point x0, y0, z0, that is if you consider the point from the domain, that is x0, y0, then z is equal to f of x0, y0, that is denoted by z0. At that point that we are finding fx, that is the partial derivative of f with respect to x. You can see we had taken y equal to y0, that is we are treating y as a constant because we had taken that to be y0, and the derivative of f with respect to x, you can see that is there is given a blue line there, and that is nothing but tangent to the black curve in the figure, and the slope of that line is that fx evaluated at x0, y0. Similarly, let us see this figure, that is if we treat now x as a constant, that is what is the geometric meaning of partial derivative of f with respect to y. We are having a surface z is equal to fxy. Now consider x equal to x0, that is we are treating x as a constant, that is x0, that is a fixed number, and for that x0 we are finding that is x0, y0 and z0, that is if we consider x0, y0 from the domain, then f of x0, y0, that will be a point on the surface, and we are taking the intersection of the surface and the plane x equal to x0. So you can see the intersection of the red surface and the plane x equal to x0, that is blue plane, that intersection of that two is a black curve that is shown in the figure, and to that curve at x0, y0, z0 point we are taking a tangent, that is you can see that blue line. So slope of that line is given by fy x0, y0, that is partial derivative of f with respect to y at point x0, y0. Now similarly you can see here the another example, this is paraboloid, z is equal to 4 minus x square minus 2y square, and we are considering its intersection with the plane y equal to 1, that is we are treating y as a constant, we are taking that to be 1. So intersection of the paraboloid and the plane y equal to 1, you can see that is a parabola that is shown by dotted line in the figure, and to that point the tangent at the point 1 1, that is if we take x and y to be 1, then we'll get a point on the curve, that is the parabola, that is 1 1, and to that curve the tangent that is shown by blue line, the slope of that tangent will be fx at x, that is 1 1, here xy is 1 1, so that will be the slope of that tangent. Similarly, if we consider the plane x equal to 1, in that case we will have also the intersection to be a curve that is shown by the dotted line, that is C2, and to C2 the tangent at point 1 1, its slope will be fy at 1 1, because we had treated x as a constant to find that intersecting curve. Now this second partial derivative of f, that is just we had seen the partial derivative of f with respect to x. So now the question is, can we find a partial derivative of partial derivative? That is, if we are having fx, then can we find its partial derivative, that is fx with respect to partial derivative of fx with respect to x, or fx with respect to y, etc. So yes, we can find that, and that is given by this fx, and its partial derivative with respect to x is fxx, or it is also denoted by f11, that 1 stand for the first variable, here the first variable is x, so that is f11, that is we are taking partial derivative of f twice, and that is nothing but del by del x of that del f by del x. Similarly, partial derivative of x if we are having, then we can also differentiate that with respect to y, that is fx with respect to y, that is denoted by fxy, and also that can be denoted by f12, that 2 stand for the second variable, and that is y here. So also that is denoted by, first we are differentiating with respect to x, so del f by del x, and then its derivative with respect to y, that is del by del y of del f by del x, that is denoted by del square f by del y del x. Now similarly, if we are having partial derivative with respect to y, then its partial derivative with respect to x is fyx or f21, and if we are having partial derivative of y, then its partial derivative with respect to y, that is fy, and y, that is fyy, that is also denoted by f22, and these are some notations for the second order partial derivative or second partial derivatives. Now suppose f is defined on